time for high school soccer on the NCW Life channel. Today's broadcast is sponsored by The Walkabout Grill, Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, Global Car Care, and Confluence Health. Now let's go to the pitch for live play-by-play action of high school soccer on the NCW Life channel.
Good evening and welcome to Wildcat Stadium along with Matt Wise and I'm Eric Granstrom as we get ready for this matchup between the Eastmont Wildcats and the Sunnyside Grizzlies. Basically, it's a three-dog race for the top of the Big Nine, and Sunnyside, one of those teams. Eastmont would love to knock them off tonight, wouldn't they?
There's so much, yeah. Going into playoffs, there's a chance Eastmont may have to go down to Sunnyside and play them there. So they want confidence. They want to kind of instill some dominance over Sunnyside, send them a message it's not going to be a cakewalk in playoffs.
Well, and also Eastmont has had a couple of bad losses here in a row. Well, not a bad loss. I mean, let's talk about Friday and that overtime, double overtime loss to Wenatchee. That was a back-and-forth game. Could have gone either way.
Yeah, you know, I thought so. For Eastmont, actually, whoever does lose that game, it is kind of a bad loss. You know, it's your rival.
Right.
Eastmont thought they had that in hand. A lot of the game, they had a lot more opportunities and better looks at goal. Just, you got to put it away. That's this game. It's a weird game. It's a simple game. And, you know, it is the way it is.
Well, and you and I did the game here last Tuesday. You and Sebastian did the game on Friday, and we talked long about this field surface and the poor quality here. And I'm gonna ask Coach Eric Duffy about that when we come back here on the pregame show. And, you know, we talked about postseason, and if you get a chance to play a game at home, would you? They did mow it. It is shorter, but it's still awfully rough out there.
It's rough, and it really does hurt teams like Eastmont. They move the ball so well, so quickly. To be able to do that, you've got to have it flat on the floor, and you just can't do that on this pitch here.
Well, we're going to talk to Eric Duffy as we continue here on the pregame show and get you ready for this matchup. It's a Big Nine Classic here as Eastmont has just this one and one more at home as we get down towards the end of the regular season. It is the Eastmont Wildcats and the Sunnyside Grizzlies. We'll talk to head coach Eric Duffy as we continue with the pregame show right after this timeout. We continue our pregame show now visiting with head coach Eric Duffy of the Eastmont Wildcats. First of all, Eric, let's go back to Friday night.
Yeah.
What a game.
Yeah.
And a great crowd.
Yeah, there was lots of people, lots of energy. It was a good night.
I know you guys would like it to come out a little more differently. At one point, and we had a question about this up in the booth because we didn't know it was a golden goal until suddenly game's over.
Game's over.
How is that determined?
That's just a standard operating procedure for the Big Nine, and any match after that point is a golden goal.
Okay, so not a shootout?
Nope. They'll play that at second extra time and then go to the shootout. We got to have a winner.
So it's after the second time?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Let's talk about regrouping, and now you got another tough team in town tonight with Sunnyside.
Yeah, I think mentally, I think the team's ready. We can take confidence from the way we played against Wenatchee. We had the energy, the style that we were going for, and unfortunately missed 3-4 big mistakes in that kind of game, and you're sunk. So I think we can shore it up and take care of business tonight. So.
Vlad has done a great job for you in goal. You had an injury earlier in the season in that Wenatchee game. Sure. Is there a temptation to switch at this point, or are you happy with how he's doing?
I think if you look at that game, unfortunately missed one right at the end there, but he made some good saves, came out, made good decisions at the right times, and as far as team confidence, they're still behind him. So.
Okay. Talk about this field. You know, it looks to us like it's kind of tough for you guys to play your style of game on this field, how bumpy it is.
Sure. I actually had the opposing coach mention that to me. Just our field conditions down in Sunnyside are not quality either, and it's different stepping onto the turf of Ike and Wenatchee, and the way we would like to play is a lot more precise, and the ball's bouncing around, and we're watching these guys knock it around, and it doesn't roll.
I guess, both teams have to play on it.
Yeah, and that's the thing we had to drive home is we can't complain about it. Everybody's on the same field, so it can't be an excuse.
So as you look towards the postseason with just a couple of games left, senior night coming up, would you rather be on the road? I mean, with a better surface? You hate to say that, but
Yeah.
for your game, it seems like it would help.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting the playoffs and potentially, if we got to go to Davis or Sunnyside, that's not ideal because we're on the same kind of conditions. But playing Ike, Wenatchee would be, or Moses Lake, which that's not going to happen, but that would be ideal.
For the play-in, you have the opportunity, you stay where you are, you would host that first play-in game, it looks like. Would you play here? Would you ask Wenatchee if it's available?
Yeah, we've asked.
That's just an honest question.
No, we have asked, and I think that is an option.
Okay.
So we won't know until we make it there.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's take care of business tonight. Best of luck. Keep everybody healthy. That's the most important.
Yeah, absolutely. We're back to full strength. So
Good to hear it. All right, Eric Duffy joining us here on the pregame show. We'll come back and take a look at the lineups as we have Sunnyside and Eastmont. It's a Big 9 thriller ahead for you here on the NCW Life Channel. Number 9, Gonzalo Frausto. Wearing number 13, German Romo Pino. Juan Acevedo wears number 14. 15 is Francisco Lagunas. 17 is Abraham Areola. And in goal tonight, we're assuming number 1. He was the man that was warming up just before the start tonight, Elias Martinez. Meanwhile, for the Eastmont Wildcats, with a record of 4-5, 7-6 overall, announced by their head coach Eric Duffy, Sebastian Aviles is wearing number 3. Jose Espinoza is number 4. Number 6, Andres Ibarra. Number 7 is Eric Perez. 8, Jake Van Ash. Sergio Bravo's number 9. Johan Espinoza is 10. 11 is Emmanuel Lopez. Tony Leon, number 13. 14 is Omar Mendoza. And in goal, number 20. Can't see the uniform number, but Vladimir Richkova, the goalie here tonight for the Eastmont Wildcats. Matt Wisen, Eric Grandstrom with you. Our broadcast today brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth, Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, Global Car Care in Wenatchee, and Confluence Health. Sunnyside in red with the white numbers. Eastmont in white with the red shorts and the red numbers. As we're about ready to go here for soccer tonight on the NCW Life Channel. And Sunnyside will have the kickoff to start things over. And Matt Wisen joining us again here on the broadcast. Matt, what do you think is the important first few minutes here for Eastmont in this one?
Trying to pick up where they left off. I mean, not last left off, but how they played against Wenatchee. If they can bring that Eastmont team together today, I think they got a great shot at beating Sunnyside.
Well, we mentioned that the field has been mowed, and you heard from Eric Duffy, you saw from Eric Duffy in our pregame show, talking about the postseason, which, is right on the doorstep here. If Eastmont were able to host a postseason game, they're talking about doing it at Wenatchee's Apple Bowl, if it's available.
Yeah, I don't blame them. That's where I would definitely want to play if I'm Eastmont. They play so much better on a smooth pitch. They're a fast team with lots of chemistry. And they love to play the ball at feet, and you just can't do it on this pitch.
Tony Leon backs the ball up to Emmanuel Lopez. Lopez with a kick across midfield here, and then a header attempt. Omar Mendoza will kick it off to the right, but then it's booted into the Eastmont end, and that's where the Wildcats will just let it go out of bounds as Sebastian Aviles will inbound it here for Eastmont. Early going, scoreless contest here at Eastmont High School tonight. Huge crowd on hand last Friday night for that battle between Eastmont and Wenatchee. That was great to see and made for some great TV here on the NCW Life Channel.
I was impressed. They had both stands with probably the biggest turnout I've seen in 2 years.
Well, and usually for soccer, you don't have to worry about opening both gates, so they only had the one gate open, and they were lined up clear up the street here outside of the stadium.
It took me, after I left later that night,
quite a while
at least
down
another 15 minutes to get out out of the parking lot.
Over to Sunnyside, so Jose Marquez will boot it away here at midfield, launch it towards the goal, and let's see who's going to come up with it. Eastmont with the tap, and they kick it out to Mendoza, as Omar will take it up the far sideline, picked up over there defensively for Sunnyside by Juan Acevedo. Up to midfield to Van Ash. Van Ash had the ball kicked away from him, and it will go to Christian Martinez. And then Eastmont's able to collect it back on defense. These two teams faced once already this season, with Sunnyside coming out on top. The Grizzlies on the attack here, but kind of an errant kick that time by Abraham Areola. Sunnyside getting the better of Eastmont back on the final day of March. 3-1 down at Sunnyside. And you were talking about postseason with Wenatchee, Sunnyside, and Eisenhower all grouped up towards the top of the Big Nine standings. If Sunnyside finishes third, for example, and Eastmont gets sixth, then you were talking about that. Eastmont on the road at Sunnyside, something they don't want.
Yeah, I think they don't want Sunnyside. They don't want
Eisenhower, really?
I think they actually want Eisenhower because it's a better pitch.
No. Yeah, that's true. That's true. For the game, ricochet shot there by Christian Martinez goes off of a face of a Wildcat and then chipped back in again here, chested near the goal box. Crossover to Mendoza. Then off to Van Ash.
Coach Duffy told me before the game it's likely that Eastmont wouldn't see Wenatchee until deeper in the playoffs in state.
Well, and that's what they're hoping for, obviously. But first things first, let's finish up the season. Boy, this would be a big morale boost besides a record boost for Eastmont to pick up a win here tonight.
Definitely. And since, the Wenatchee game, I commented they came out in a new formation. They went to a 4-4-2 and a 4-3-3 in that game. And
there's a nice attempt on a goal shot by Johan Espinoza, but a nice stop by the goalie in there. Again, we're assuming that's Elias Martinez. He was a write-in to the roster here late for Sunnyside before this one. But you were talking about kind of a new attack.
This team is definitely playing better under that than the 3-5-2 that they were in earlier. Their back line is defending much better, especially the width. Still have some issues defending the crosses, but they're getting more back.
Mm-hmm. Well, you see that line folding back right now. You got four guys back there, about 25 yards out from the goal, so that's good to see. A route into the far end of the field here is picked up by Jose Ramirez, but then stolen away by Eastmont. On the attack is Johan Espinoza, waiting for some help, chips it across. There's Mendoza for the shot, ricochets off of the goalie, but he's able to squirrel out there and collect it.
Yeah, they're feeling it already, and that's good to see. Good to see Johan get facing that goal. That's where he likes to be.
Boy, we hope one of the Sunnyside JV players is all right. You were saying that you saw that somebody got kicked, a bicycle kick to the face over there?
Yeah, prior to this game, the JV game was going on, and a Sunnyside player took a boot to the face. And it sounds like some stitches on the forehead, which is probably the better of the three options. Yeah, no kidding.
Here's a goal kick for Wenatchee, or for Eastmont, comes out and picked up there for the Wildcats by Johan Espinoza. Then back it comes to Sebastian Aviles. And then off to Emmanuel Lopez, and then ahead again to Espinoza. Lost it there, and Sunnyside will pick it up near sideline. And then kicking the dirt more than the ball that time were the Grizzlies. Omar will feed it over. And Espinoza picks it up. Tried to kick one from with a left foot there. Blocked away by Sunnyside. Up to the task. Good footwork here for Eastmont by Tony Leon. And now we're going to get a foul here in a good location for Johan Espinoza.
Yep, right where he wants it.
That's his sweet spot, isn't it?
Yep.
So let's see. How far out is that, Coach? About 30 yards
30.
out?
Yeah. 18, 24. Yep, I'll call it 28 and a half.
Okay. So here's another opportunity for Eastmont. Bodies in motion. Johan Espinoza with the kick, and it off of the goaltender, but then the follow. Omar kicks it just a little bit wide.
Omar wants that back, like nobody's business.
Yeah, with the goalie on his knees after deflecting that ball. Another opportunity. So 3 shots on goal here for Eastmont in the first 7 minutes of play. You got to like that if you're the coach, Eric Duffy.
Yeah, good job by Johan to bend that around the line. And this is a well-designed play. They had some good screening in front of the keeper. Just got a flick on it. Not enough to redirect that ball, but 2 other opportunities came in.
Ibarra Back it comes, and then forwarded by Lopez for Eastmont. Sunnyside with the ball now on the approach is Gonzalo Frausto up the far sideline. Chip across, and a little backhanded heel on the pass attempt. They were looking for Christian Martinez, but Eastmont did a good job on the defense there. Near side it comes. Areola with a high boot, and Vlad just helps ease that one, just looks at it as it sails through the inline, and will be a goal kick for Eastmont. Season winding down. Man, it's hard to believe we're already to the end of April.
Yeah, and we're still wearing sweatshirts, unfortunately.
I heard a report today that the Department of Transportation normally likes to get the North Cascade Highway open by last weekend for that general fishing opener, because it means so lot to the Medhow Valley. Maybe end of May, they're saying, to get North Cross open.
It's going to be a late opener.
Nice job by Eastmont on the turnover here, and they attempted the pass by Omar Mendoza just a little bit too far out in front of his teammates, and so Eastmont will try to regroup here out towards midfield, but the ball picked away as it's Sunnyside with it. Francisco Lagunas up ahead it comes to Marquez on the attack, crossing pass, picked away, but then Eastmont able to collect it again. Nice job by the Wildcats getting back there defensively.
Yeah, much better than they've been the last few games. He kind of brought some together against Wenatchee, but this 4-back setup helps them build out of the back much better than they were with the 3-back setup.
Stolen away there momentarily. The ball goes out of bounds off of Eastmont, so it'll be a throw-in here for Sunnyside, and it will be German Romo Pino who brings it in, and then Lycona will pick it up down in the corner. Eastmont fending, and the ball kind of some interesting English there. It's going to be picked up by Richkova. Nice job for him to keep that ball and his body from going off the end line there.
Yeah.
Giving it right back to him on a corner kick. Far sideline it goes for Eastmont in front of the Sunnyside bench. Van Ash with it. They'll bring it over to Leon. Leon at midfield. Bumped there by Christian Martinez. Martinez, the beneficiary, comes up with the ball, and now booted deep, but then right there to knock it back for Eastmont is Lopez. Near sideline it comes to Avilas. Off to Mendoza. Back. Got 3 Sunnyside Grizzlies all around the ball right now. That means somebody's got to be open on the wide side, you'd think. But the ball stolen away here by Sunnyside is Francisco Lagunas. Knocked down, and the whistle comes, and so it'll be over to Sunnyside.
That was a good foul there. Broke up some momentum, kept him from countering him.
In the 11th minute of the first half, scoreless so far between Sunnyside and Eastmont. And, you know, you look at the game on paper and you look at Eastmont's record, but Eastmont's a lot better than that 4-5 record, aren't they?
Definitely. They've dropped a few that they shouldn't have. You know, I know they're still thinking that they shouldn't have dropped the Wenatchee game either.
Lob kick in, and Sunnyside was trying to get back onside there, and so nothing happening from that approach. Eastmont will pick it up and boot it the other way, will Ibarra. And you don't see a backwards head to the goalie too much, but that was the case there for Sunnyside. Jose Marquez.
That was pretty well executed. You can get sketchy if the keeper's not ready for that
That's
one.
That's right. A lot of playing together. Eastmont defending well on the Sunnyside approach. We played a lot of this game so far in this first half, and the attack in for Eastmont. And Lopez again comes over, helps out defensively, kicks the ball out of bounds. So it'll be a throw in here for Sunnyside. We're in the 12th minute. Scoreless contest. Throw in here for the Grizzlies will be by Jose Ramirez. Directing traffic before he does so. Getting some help from the assistant referee on where he's going to throw this in. Lobs it ahead for the header, but right there, no problem for Vlad Richkova, the goaltender here for Eastmont. I got to imagine that those punts from your goalie are just really, really important to get them in the right spot, aren't they?
Very much so. I'm not a huge fan of the big booming punt.
Uh-oh, look out. Sunnyside still with the opportunity and just a little bit wide on the attack there by Christian Martinez. He just picked his way through the Eastmont defense. And
I was looking a little sketchy there for a minute for Eastmont.
That was.
Just couldn't close his hips off and pulled that ball a little, or shanked that ball a little wide. Yeah, those big booming punts, I would much prefer my keeper to throw the ball out, build out of the back. The longer it's in the air, the more of a 50-50 ball it is, and it's anybody's possession at that point. But if you're going to turn it over, you may as well turn it over in your opponent's end of the field.
Along with Matt Wise and I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCAA Life Channel in the 13th minute here of the first half. And again, that clock stopped. So we'll have to assume where we are here. And now the whole scoreboard shut down. So I think they're having a reboot here. We had that problem last time, last Tuesday in the 12th minute that it shut down. So Eastmont on the offensive approach here near sideline. Again, there's 4 or 5 Grizzlies within about a 15-yard patch of grass out there. Eastmont trying to find their way through the picket fence. Now the ball stolen away at midfield. Entry pass ahead for Gonzalo Frausto. Frausto will wait. It's a 2-on-4 right now. Frausto is knocked over. Let's see if there's a whistle coming. No, they play on, and the ball ricocheted out. Nice job by Lopez to clear that ball out of the box.
Yeah, I didn't see a foul there. That was about clean.
And now we're going to get a foul, however. They're going to say Lopez pushed from behind, I think, on that ball that came in on the attempted header. He went up along with Christian Martinez, wearing number 7 for Sunnyside. And so here's a chance for the Grizzlies. Gonzalo Frausto is nearest the ball. We'll see if he'll be the one to attempt the kick. As now the clock running once again. We're in the just about 14th minute here of this first half in a scoreless contest so far. So Rich Kova, here's your time when you earn your money for the Eastmont goalkeeper. And it will be Frausto with the kick, and it's wide right. Hefty boots, but sails wide right, so a goal kick here for Eastmont.
Yeah, he just kind of missed that one. He wanted to bend that, and it's a fine line between bending and sending it straight.
And we talk about this field surface, and again, we talked about it being mowed. You know, if I'm a golfer, I like to have that ball up on the grass a little bit. How does that affect your kick when you're trying to kick like that?
Yeah, you usually want it in a little bit of a soft spot, but your planting foot, if it hits anything awkward,
not level,
yeah, your hips get all messed up and you don't get the swing that you need.
So the ball went out of bounds, or it's a turnover here for Eastmont, and so they'll get the big foot of Emmanuel Lopez over there to boot it on an entry. Eastmont lining up down around the goal area, and the lead pass ahead, but headed, speaking of, quickly out of there. And I believe for Sunnyside, that was Abraham Areola that got the head in there and just ricocheted that ball out of bounds on the far sideline. So a throw in for Eastmont. In the scoreless first half, good entry and a good pass to Omar Mendoza. Goes out of bounds, so it'll be a corner kick for Eastmont. Boy, that was a nice off the throw in entry attempt for Eastmont on a beautiful pass.
Get the feeling those guys have played that one before.
A little bit.
Eric Perez is taking this kick.
It is Perez, and went to the weak side with it. Sunnyside to the task here, and now the ball cleared out on a deep hit by Romo Pino, and now picked up in the offensive attack by Frausto. Eastmont getting back there, however. Nice job by Ibarra. He'll kick it the length of the field just about, and it'll be picked up by the keeper back there.
Yeah, defended much better that time. Great individual defensive play, as well as Eastmont's supportive players getting back in quickly.
We're going to get a little bit of a push here by Sunnyside, so it'll go over to Eastmont. In the 16th minute, at least on the scoreboard anyway, here in the first half. Of course, the timing is always kept on the field by the referee. So the clock on your screen, kind of more of a
Guideline?
Yes. Just a mere kind of a thumbnail sketch of our possible timing of this first half.
Yeah.
So Lopez gets the ball adjusted on the ground right where he wants it, just shy of midfield. We'll chip it ahead, and the ball picked up back there by Eastmont, and a crossing attempt at a goal. Beautiful shot by Eric Perez.
Great hit by Eric.
I think they were looking Espinoza's way, and he just let the ball go by him. And right there, Perez with the left foot and drives it home for the goal. And Eastmont on top, 1-0 here in the 17th minute.
Tried to catch the keeper away from his goal, sleeping a little bit on that kickoff, and just went directly at him. Lofted it a little high.
So the Wildcats strike first.
Yeah, that was a good finish by Perez. He's put a few of those away for me and it clubbed as well, and he's got a stunner of a left foot if he can connect.
Sunnyside trying to catch Eastmont off balance here a little bit defensively as the ball's headed around the midfield. And Van Ash after it for the Wildcats. Lost it there to Areola. Areola comes near sideline with it and letting it go out of bounds. It'll be out to Eastmont on a throw-in. Does Avilas. Kicked ahead by Sunnyside, but right to Espinoza for the Wildcats. Espinoza off to Leon. Tony Leon crosses over, looking Van Ash's way. He'll feed it to him. Van Ash will chip it ahead, looking for Espinoza, but a little bit off the mark there as it's intercepted by Jose Marquez. Eastmont getting back on defense. Will collect it there at midfield. Nice dribble across and a feed near side to Avilas. He'll give it back to Lopez. And they'll work it back even further here in the 18th minute. Eastmont on top 1-0 on the goal by Eric Perez. Chip shot across midfield. And Espinoza tripped there, and so the whistle comes, and he'll get a little handshake from Jose Ramirez. Didn't mean to, just going after the ball and kind of hung their feet up together. And so Lopez will come up for Eastmont, and another opportunity here for the Wildcats. And they'll quickly get it in play off to Van Ash. Van Ash with a chip. A header looking for Espinoza again, but the goalkeeper will come out and gather this one for Sunnyside.
Yeah, that had some potential as well.
It did.
Johan just got a little shove right before he made that run and threw him off.
Sunnyside, nobody in on the chip in there. Grizzlies really have, just a couple of goal shots here, shots on goal in this first half. One was off of a penalty, and now we got hands in the air. Usually that means Eastmont's offending somehow or another. And wow, if this is a penalty kick right there for Sunnyside.
Yeah, got him on a little shove.
Giant opportunity here for the Grizzlies.
Definitely a dangerous location.
And again, looks like it'll be Gonzalo Frausto to kick it for Sunnyside, although right there too is Jose Marquez. Marquez wearing number 6. Frausto number 9. Frausto closest to it, so it looks like he's going to be the one to take the shot here. Eastmont sets the wall.
I mean, they're both lined up for a right-footed boot. So.
There we go, and the shot and the goal is going to be scored here by Jose Marquez. Ties it at 1 in the 20th minute.
Didn't quite see what happened there. It kind of looked like the keeper was set up too far behind the wall and wasn't covering the open part of the net.
Yeah. Well, in the pregame show, talked with Coach Duffy about his confidence and the team's confidence in Richkova after a couple of losses in a row here at home, including that tough defeat at the hands of Davis here last week, a week ago. And he said the team and I still have confidence in Richkova, so we're sticking with him. 1-1 contest here in the 21st minute of the first half. Wildcats controlling it in their end. Near side it comes to Aviles. Gets it across midfield. The ball ricocheted around for a moment, then lifted high in the air off the foot of Diddins Maldonado, who played basketball for Sunnyside in the winter. Off to Espinoza for Eastmont. And a nice entry here for Eastmont. Opportunity, a little header to himself, Flavio Espinoza. And the ball is over to Sunnyside. They call offsides there? I didn't see the call.
Got kind of just a foul or a handball in there.
Okay. Officials right on top of it, both the referee and the assistant referee on the far sideline over there. So they have a much better view of it than we do up here in the box here at Eastmont's Wildcat Stadium. Good one so far. Thanks for joining us here on the NCW Life Channel. All tied at 1. And look out on this one for Sunnyside. The attack on the far side, Frausto again, and the ball will go over the end line, and we're going to have a corner kick. I think this is the first corner kick of the game for Sunnyside. So let's see if they've kind of cleaned that up here, Coach. Yeah. Eastmont putting bodies on either side of the uprights on the goal, and here's the crossing pass, and it's headed by Eastmont out, and then picked up by the Wildcats. And near side, it's going to be kept in bounds and then ricocheted off of a Grizzly. Nice job there by Eastmont, getting the header out, and then Espinoza chasing it near sideline. A throw in for Eastmont goes all the way into the Sunnyside end of things here, and that's where it'll be Jose Marquez who will pick it up. Forwards it ahead to Martinez. Van Ash tried to step in there, but still controlled by Sunnyside. Romo Pino. Back it goes to Acevedo. Lob pass down low, and it will go out of bounds and be out to the Wildcats. 23rd minute here of the first half, all tied at 1. It was Eastmont that scored in the 17th minute by Eric Perez on a left-footed goal. And then Jose Marquez on a penalty kick tied it up. And that's where we are here in this first half. Lopez, kind of a missed kick there. Got a little bit too far under it, and Sunnyside will try to take advantage as they keep it in here. But it's right over to Eastmont. Omar Mendoza will collect it for the Wildcats. Go far side on the pass to Ibarra. Ibarra off to Espinoza. Then they'll back it up to Jose Espinoza. Then up towards midfield. Getting the Grizzlies to do most of the running here while Eastmont does the passing. Lob pass ahead to Espinoza. And Johan pushed down. I thought I heard a whistle or a partial whistle. Now an entry in, and Omar Mendoza didn't want to get off sides there, so he will not chase after it. So it's over to the goalkeeper for Sunnyside. Chip ahead on the punt downfield, and here's Espinoza again for Eastmont with a nifty move there, and the shot, and it's in for the goal. Holy cow, what a shot by Johan Espinoza. 2-1 Eastmont.
Great shot. Now if you're looking at Sunnyside's defense, they're all yelling at each other. It's definitely what you want to see if you're Eastmont. The 2-for-1 there.
Goal comes in the 25th minute. And you think, oh, no, he's too far out to shoot from there. No, not the case. About 30 yards out for Johan Espinoza for the goal.
Good movement. I mean, that completely took the keeper off by surprise there. Wasn't expecting a shot, especially to beat him near post. And that ball came off his foot and was bending from middle back in, basically. And
that's a tough angle.
The keeper's first step was, I think, towards the middle, and then had to come back.
And Espinoza started it with a nifty move himself. And now Sunnyside with a chance, but they're offsides. And so it'll go over to Eastmont here in the 26th minute. Wildcats every bit up to the challenge here against Sunnyside tonight. Trying to defend the home field and snap a 2-game losing streak here at home. After beating Moses Lake a couple of Fridays ago, they have dropped 2 in a row to Davis last Tuesday and to Wenatchee in double overtime on Friday. Little give and go. And we've seen a couple of bodies slip here on the surface. We've seen that here the last few games as well. So.
Yeah, the surface is a little deceptive. I mean, as lumpy as it is, it still feels pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd think with all the moisture in the water, in the ground, it would be much softer, but it really does feel kind of hard. And so there's some slick spots out there.
Nifty footwork there for Sunnyside by Christian Martinez. But stepping in, Eastmont trying to pick the ball away, but still controlled here on the attack. Acevedo now with it. Back it goes to Lagunas. Ahead. Stepping in front, Martinez. And they'll back it out to midfield. Back it up even further. Marquez back there. Crosses over. That's a dangerous pass. It kind of slowed down on that surface.
Yeah.
As Johan Espinoza was smelling a little something there.
Yeah, I think if I'm Johan, I want to press a little higher there
Yeah.
and make that defender get a little further back even yet. Just work a little better on organizing defensively.
Throw in on the far sideline by Sunnyside, and another entry down in the corner, but they can't keep it inbounds, so it's a throw in here for Eastmont. Appreciate you joining us on the NCW Life Channel. Our broadcast brought to you by Confluence Health, safe, high-quality care with compassion. Also by Global Car Care, Wenatchee's friendly expert auto repair specialist. Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, where the name means a great deal, and Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. Eastmont leading at 2-1, along with Matt Wise and I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCW Life Channel. Sunnyside now trying to find a way to answer. They answered just 3 minutes after Eastmont's goal first time around. And about 5 minutes later, Eastmont with the counter. A nice entry, but nobody there for it. But Sunnyside. Now nice give and go there for Eastmont. And a cross ahead, but Espinoza, is he going to be able to get to it? He will. Johan just showing the wheels there. Gets in front of the defenders and keeps it alive for Eastmont. Now he'll chip it back outside to Avilas. Crosses over towards Van Ash. Jake will pick it up. Feed near side. We got a body on the ground. Espinoza on the ground back there. Asking for a penalty. None coming. Lopez trying to chase this down. Nearly lost it. The ball kicked off of the defender and will go out of bounds. It'll be a throw in here for Eastmont. I didn't see what happened behind the play there, Coach.
I didn't either. They're both talking right now at each other, and I think it's a little bit of gamesmanship going on.
Sure. Diddins Maldonado back there having a conversation with Johan Espinoza for Eastmont. 29th minute here, the first half. 2-1 Eastmont on top. Throw in to Van Ash. He'll niftily put it ahead to Tony Leon, and now off to Omar Mendoza. Far side it goes. Wildcats passing much crisper than the game I saw on Tuesday against Davis. I mean, just 180 degrees better. And here's a beautiful stop and go by Espinoza with the shot ricochets off a defender. Van Ash will get it ahead to Omar. Mendoza turns, defender falls. Mendoza trying to fight for it down there. Slides, and they're going to say it's out to Sunnyside. Boy, just got a feeling on that.
Yeah, I thought Johan was going to take that first shot, and he pulled it back.
Look at the tape on that one. He'll think, maybe I should have taken that first opportunity. A little body check here called against Eastmont. As Flavio Espinoza was back there, and quickly Sunnyside dumps it ahead, but Eastmont steps in front. Now the ball will go out of bounds on the far side. Be a throw in to Eastmont here in the 31st minute of this first half here at Eastmont High School. Eastmont very thin here with what, just two subs?
Yeah, they're missing a couple players tonight. They're missing Sean and Jose. They're both apparently under the weather, and tis the season for funky late flu bugs to be coming around.
Sergio Bravo will come into the contest for Eastmont. And the throw-in here comes to Omar Mendoza. Lost his footing over there. Falls down. No whistle. And it's alive to Sunnyside. Grizzlies have it. Acevedo ahead. Almost thought he was going to do that backward pass. Had a man on the far sideline over there. I didn't see him. Tony Leon will just clear it. And it'll be a throw in here at midfield for the Sunnyside Grizzlies. Again, Sunnyside, Wenatchee, Eisenhower all vying for that top spot in the Big Nine.
Yeah, Wenatchee's going to give Eastmont a big thank you letter if they end up.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. As Sunnyside comes in at 7-2, Wenatchee at 8-2, and of course, fresh off that double overtime win here on Friday night against the Wildcats. Lopez roots it ahead, but again, there stepping in front is Diddins Maldonado for Sunnyside. Pass ahead to Tony Leon. He goes down on the field here. Espinoza picked it up off to Van Ash. Far sideline it goes to Bravo, who just checked in. Then a chip inside, but a little bit too tall for Jake Van Ash down there. As they back it up, does Jose Marquez. And now Eastmont's trying to battle for it. Finally chipped ahead to Sunnyside, and they'll just clear it out. Battle ensues here on the Eastmont side of the midfield stripe. And again, Eastmont just seems, unlike last Tuesday where they just came out flat, just never seemed to really be in the game. Losing to Davis here at home tonight, I mean, they're just everywhere the ball goes. There seems to be a Wildcat ready for it.
They're much more connected tonight, moving together as a unit. About as good as they have all year. And it's showing. Yeah, Sunnyside's getting a little frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And Eastmont's doing a lot of work. They are staying a little deep defensively. They're doing a lot of work with three guys up top and not a whole lot of help.
And despite having guys back like that, kind of, on the defensive more than the offensive, they've had way more opportunities here in this first half. 33rd minute of the first half, and here is Lopez at midfield. Gets it ahead to Aviles. Down it comes, but kicked out by Sunnyside. Little bump there, but no whistle. And there's another bump, and that will bring a whistle. As the legs got tied up between Eastmont's Tony Leon and Gonzalo Frausto for Sunnyside. So it'll be a put in play here on the foot of Emmanuel Lopez for Eastmont. Whistle comes, and here he approaches, and
just take the shot.
Why not? From out towards midfield. Well, and all it takes is somebody to screen the goalkeeper, and he loses the eyeball on it, and suddenly it's in the back of the net.
Keeper did a good job snuffing that one out.
34th minute. Sunnyside trying to be a little more aggressive here, trailing it 2-1, and hands raised, but no whistle. That was a good non-call. And sometimes those are the best, aren't they?
Yeah, they're both going cleanly at the ball. There was
no advantage gained by tough play. And I wonder, Eastmont, we talked about this field here, and the grass was, aside from being lumpy, was awfully tall for both those games on Tuesday and Friday. If coming out here and seeing it freshly mowed, if that's almost mental as much as it is physical to see the field look a little different.
Yeah, and it does look a little better. I don't know if they've had a chance to get some water on it, but it looks not so shaggy.
And I don't know what you could do, have to really get it wet to roll it to try to get those lumps out of it.
That's probably what I would end up doing if you could. Get it wet and roll it, mow it. It's going to take some time. But apparently they don't have irrigation on this.
No, they
pitch,
don't.
So they need to drag hoses.
Hoses and large-size shotgun sprinkler heads.
Yeah.
35th minute here of the first half, along with Matt Wise and Eric Granstrom with you. And our broadcast brought to you today in part by AC Checker Taxi Cab, Neil's Boots and Shoes, and Quick Lube and Tune. We appreciate our sponsors here on the NCW Life Channel. Here's the throw-in on the far sideline for Sunnyside. They get their bodies in position, lofted in, header on the way, and just outside the edge of the goal it goes. And another job done by Eastmont defensively, negating that opportunity for Sunnyside.
I'm sensing a great sponsorship opportunity for a landscaper maybe to pick it.
There you go. There you go.
You have it before, and we could do an after pit shot of and commentary from the players and how much greater the pitch is.
Well, and I learned here during the football season, coach that came up from the Yakima area in one of the games we broadcast here on the NCW Life Channel with Eastmont Football, that he's originally from here in the Wenatchee Valley, and that this was his family's orchard where this surface is. And he said, there's a lot of fill here. So that might be some of the issues they've had over the years with this surface here at Eastmont Stadium. But again, not having irrigation really does not help things.
Yeah.
It just makes it so difficult. Those of us watching from home, think about your yard and what it would look like if you had to do hand lines all the time and you had this much grass.
Yeah, I would be zero-scaping really quick.
Yeah, a lot of rocks.
Putting in a big pool.
Yeah. 37th minute here of the first half. Eastmont on top, 2-1. Teams have been kind of feeling each other out here for the last several moments.
Bring in some goats. That might
Could do it.
fertilize and mow.
And mow at the same time. You got to get whatever the animal is you bring in. You got to get them with sharp scissor teeth instead of the type that grab and rip. Because you get the grabber and the rippers, and that takes the roots out. That doesn't help. Sunnyside will get it here. And the boot ahead will sail out of bounds, and kind of a miss-struck ball there for Sunnyside's Jose Marquez. And it will be out to Eastmont as they'll grab a ball from around the goal there for the Wildcats. And a throw in, but we got a whistle first as they're making a substitution on the far side over there. Sunnyside also does not look like they've got a lot of bodies in reserve here either.
Yeah, I think they're down a couple red card suspensions from my understanding. And I don't know about any illnesses, but they sure haven't had anybody warming up on the bench.
No. Ball's going to come out of bounds near side, and they're going to say it's out to Eastmont. So Coach Duffy will toss it off to Sebastian Aviles, who will throw it in here for the Wildcats. Headed by Sunnyside. And then a whiff by Eastmont's Lopez. Entry in, but right there, Rich Kova covering the ball for the Wildcats. You coach your goalies, your goalkeepers to, even though there might not be anybody around is that good technique back there to cover that ball like that just in case? You just never know.
And you got to protect yourself and the ball. They've taken some weird hops, and so you gather it and you flop on it.
Well, that's going to be the end of our first half, and it is Eastmont on top. The score, again, clock was a little off there. Eastmont on top, thanks to a couple of goals by Eric Perez and Johan Espinoza, lead the Sunnyside Grizzlies by a score of 2-1 here at the half. We will take a 4-minute break and come back. You're watching Eastmont Wildcats soccer tonight here on the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back once again here to Eastmont Stadium as the Wildcats lead the Grizzlies of Sunnyside by a score of 2-1 here at the half. Matt Wiesen, Eric Perez with the first goal in the 17th minute. Jose Marquez for Sunnyside tied it up on the 20th minute after a whistle and opportunity in close. And then it was Johan Espinoza, who's had a few opportunities in this first half. He does connect from about 30-plus yards out, and that would make it 2-1. That's where we stand here at halftime. And I'm very impressed with the play of Eastmont here tonight.
Playing really well. Definitely staying connected, working the ball through the thirds, and getting good penetration runs and putting the ball in dangerous places.
So your coach, Eric Duffy, what are you telling your club here at halftime? Basically carbon copy of the second half, what you did in the first half?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of what I just said. Keep working the ball through the thirds. It's going to keep you together as a unit. And then don't overextend yourself. They got in trouble late, or actually 3 minutes after they got up their goal. They kind of overextended themselves, committed a silly foul.
Right.
And gave them a free kick. So that set piece, obviously Eastmont's very dangerous at set pieces. So was Sunnyside, and that's what got them in trouble. So, no silly fouls. Don't ever extend yourself. Play through the thirds.
And even with that discussion that we had in the first half about Eastmont kind of playing back defensively, if you will, that really got them into some offensive opportunities by getting that ball in.
Yeah, it's creating space. And so one thing I'm telling individually to a couple of my players, Omar, Eric Perez, and Johan, I might monkey with that a little bit, and I might push Johan a little higher.
Okay.
They're leaving 3 back on Johan. See how far back you can push those 3 players. It's going to create space underneath for Omar to work. Omar's staying down a little deep, and there's a lot of space up there that Eastmont's not taking advantage of. Perez is playing a little narrow sometimes, and when Eastmont does have the ball, it takes away some of the space that Johan can move.
Okay.
So just tweak things a little bit like that, but they're playing really well.
Yeah, they are. Great first half for Eastmont. They hope to continue it here in the second half. They lead Sunnyside 2-1, and as we kind of joked a little bit, Wenatchee would be sending some thank you cards to the Wildcats if they could knock off Sunnyside here tonight. We'll come back with the second half after another 2-minute break and get you ready for the closing 40 minutes. It's 2-1, Eastmont on top of Sunnyside. We're back next here on the NCW Life Channel. Once again here to Eastmont's Wildcat Stadium with Matt Wisen. I'm Eric Grandstrom as we get ready for the second half here between the Wildcats and Grizzlies, and Eastmont up to the task so far here tonight, leading it by a score of 2-1. You were checking your phone, Matt. Wenatchee is at Moses Lake tonight, and we're assuming they're up right now?
Yeah, last I heard they were up 2-0.
Okay.
Trying to get some more updates here, but they must be at halftime.
Okay. Wenatchee at Moses Lake tonight. The other Big Nine tilt has Eisenhower playing host to West Valley. As the season winds down, Eastmont will have the ball here to start the second half. As Espinoza will get it back to Omar Mendoza, and they'll back it up even further here. And Sunnyside coming aggressively on the defensive set. A chip ahead, Espinoza looking for it. Went behind him. Omar Mendoza will get it up to him there. Near sideline it comes off of the foot of Espinoza, out of bounds here for Eastmont.
A little overambitious there. He had some support. Turning into a double team with the ball, I don't recommend it. I'd keep possession, pass back. At that point, give up on the quick counter and just play possession and build.
Be a throw in here for Isidro Didens Maldonado. And he'll lob it ahead into the Eastmont end of the field here. We'll see if there's any change in approach here for Sunnyside as they trail it 2-1. And there weren't really a lot of opportunities for Sunnyside in that first half.
No, other than the set pieces.
Had one corner kick.
Yeah.
And that free kick out in front of the goal that ended up in their one score of that first half. Sunnyside backs it up and then tries to bring it back in again. Ball headed around and then picked up by Eastmont. And a chip ahead again. We were talking during the break. You were talking about the thirds of the field here. Kind of talk through that again for our viewers right now.
So, yeah, when I say that you play through the thirds, so you've got your defensive third, you've got your middle third, and you've got your attacking third.
So you're breaking up the field into 3 different sections.
Yeah, so building out of the back, it connects your defenders with your midfielders. And basically keeps everybody connected or together. Patience. The theory there is the defending team presses, which creates space in behind. So if you can get the ball into your midfield, they have the direct play or the penetrating play to their forwards, or they still have support with their defenders. And if you bypass your midfield and you go directly over the top to your forwards, you might get a quick counterattack, but you don't have numbers going forward. And so your supporters, your supporting cast isn't there. So that hurts you 2 ways. You're stretched out now from the attacking third to the defending third. And there's big holes in there that now the attacking team, when you turn the ball over, can exploit and get numbers into and come back at you. So it's kind of a risky proposition just to go over the top and play direct like that because you do get stretched out.
Espinoza with the centering pass and a little bit too tall, but maintained there by Eastmont as Van Ash will bring it back outside to Ibarra. Ibarra, Mendoza. Now a little scissor kick a little bit too high there for Eric Perez. It goes off the end line and out on a goal kick to Sunnyside. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Live Channel. Our broadcast brought to you by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, with a name means a great deal. Global Car Care, Wenatchee's friendly expert auto repair specialist, and Confluence Health, safe, high-quality care with compassion. Van Ash ahead for Eastmont to Eric Perez. Excuse me. Some of the spring pollen climbed inside my chest there for a minute. Opportunity here on a one-on-one for Sunnyside. Ahead, it is Frausto and the goal, and he ties it. Well, a turnover for Eastmont in one end. Ends up in a goal for Sunnyside in the other in the 45th minute.
Yeah, there's not much. I mean, Frausto's he's a player, and he did a really good job at turning the defender inside out there and finding a quick shot.
So that ties it up at 2 here. Now we'll see if Eastmont still continues their approach in this game. Now another turnover. Here's Frausto again, and he'll boot it. And a nice job of deflecting it there by Richkova, the goalkeeper for Eastmont.
Great job at stopping that shot. Far post, it was bending in, and good extension by the keeper there.
Sunnyside keeping it in Eastmont's end. Ball ricocheted out on a foot and will come out of bounds. Andres Ibarra will kick it out, and so it'll be a throw in here for Sunnyside. And we'll see if Eastmont gets a little tight here now with this game tied at 2. Throw in will be by Jose Marquez for Sunnyside. Lob in, headed by Van Ash for Eastmont. Out it comes. And now 2 Grizzlies after it. Fausto's down there, keeps it inbounds on the end line. Fronted over there by Aviles. In the corner it is. And they'll just kick it out, and it will be a throw-in, not a corner kick, a throw-in for Sunnyside, or will it be a corner kick?
I think it's a throw-in.
Looked like it was on the side. Yes, it will be. So it will be Jose Ramirez who will throw it in for the Grizzlies. And a header, and it will skip on the outside of the net. And will be a goal kick here for Eastmont. Well, you're seeing a change. I mean, we're seeing the ball in Eastmont's end quite a bit here.
Yeah, Sunnyside came out with, I think, just
more aggressive.
A little more energy there.
Lopez with the boot.
Couple little, the ball bounces a couple funny ways. The defender takes a stab at the ball and sets up a 2v1 situation or a 1v1 with it going at keeper, and that's not where you want to be.
Near side it comes to Ibarra. Ibarra ahead to Mendoza. Mendoza turns, picked up there closely by Sunnyside as it's booted out of bounds by Romo Pino. And it will be out to Eastmont on a throw-in here in the 47th minute. All tied at 2. Eric Perez with a goal to start things, puts Eastmont on top. Then the counter by Sunnyside. 3 minutes later, Jose Marquez. Eastmont 5 minutes later in the first half. Johan Espinoza on a 30-plus yarder. And that made it 2-1 at half. But then shortly here into the second half, Sunnyside with the equalizer by Gonzalo Frausto. A little weak on the pass there out of goal, but Eastmont still maintaining possession. Far side it goes to Aviles. Aviles ahead But again, Sunnyside, the counter goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw in by the Grizzlies. Emmanuel Ocampo will toss it in here for Sunnyside. Or will it be? Yes, it will. No. He's got a teammate asking for it. So it'll be Isidro Didens Maldonado. And that entry, they'll just watch it bypass. And coming out to Rich Kova here for Eastmont. We'll gather it in and punt it past midfield. Picked up there by the Grizzlies. Sunnyside seems to have more bodies back for these approaches by Eastmont this half than in the first half. I'm going to say it's Eastmont's ball out of bounds. Boy, that was a close call. I thought maybe it touched Omar last, but no, they're going to say it was off of Sunnyside. So Van Ash will bring it in here on a throw-in in the 49th minute, deep into Sunnyside territory. Throw in. Oh, there's an opportunity as Espinoza chips it. The header attempt, and then we're going to get a collision right at the goal crease. And the ball goes out of bounds. And Eastmont.
Yeah, I'm calling a foul there, and I might even call a yellow card or a PK. And foul is a PK.
Is that Van Ash that's down? Look like, no, Van Ash is out here towards midfield. Can't tell who it is right now, but we do have an injury timeout on the field, as that was a wicked collision right in front of the goal crease there. Sergio Bravo, the man who's slow to get up for Eastmont.
I'm not convinced that defender Drew got the ball on that, and he got way more player than he did ball.
Absolutely. Our injury timeout briefly brought to you by Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center for all sports-related injuries. Appreciate Confluence Health with their support of us here on the NCW Life Channel, and of course for supporting injury rehabilitation here to athletes young and old throughout the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington. So the goal kick after the collision will sail out of bounds and be out to Eastmont. So they'll gain, I guess, field position differential there, as it was a good attempt for Eastmont and kind of a whiff in front of the goal by Sunnyside. It allowed Espinoza to get free with the ball, and then the chip across, and then we saw the collision out in front of the goal mouth. Here in the 51st minute of this second half, in a 2-2 contest, Espinoza falls to the turf over there on a left-footed kick attempt, and it will go out of bounds and out to Sunnyside. Far side bringing it in, Didens Maldonado again. Or they're not going to say it went out of bounds. Penalty, I guess.
Yeah, called a foul on Eastmont there. I didn't see what happened. Maybe a hook or something there.
I don't know how it could be a hook on the man who kicked the ball, because he fell down. And a pretty good boot there, headed by Eastmont, but the follow by Sunnyside. But right there, Lopez to root it out of bounds for the Wildcats. That ball will sail clear over the chain link fence here at Eastmont Stadium. So we'll have to get a ball in from behind the goal here on the Eastmont end of the field in a 2-2 contest.
So much room here on off this pitch that retrieving errant balls can take.
It can take a while.
Can take a long time, especially if you're down and you need to get a goal late.
Where are those youngins? I used to do it for 25 cents.
Yeah.
Or ice cream. Here's a shot and right on the goal step, and it hits the upright. Follow fire Sunnyside, and the goal's going to be scored here. Too many opportunities. German Romo Pino puts the Grizzlies on top 3-2.
Some crazy bounce there.
3 opportunities for the Grizzlies. I mean, Rishkova, what else can you do there?
Yeah, you can only do so much. I thought they did a decent job. Yeah, East Sunnyside did not want to be denied, and Rishkova and Junior are both back there working hard to clear that ball, and sometimes you just can't get enough on it.
Now we have a collision of bodies here in the Eastmont end, and they're going to say it's on the Wildcats. So Jose Espinoza came up to defend there. And now another opportunity here for the Grizzlies, as Frausto and Marquez will take a look at it on whom will boot this one here.
Yeah, I think it's all Frausto.
Gonzalo Frausto wears number 9. And he'll approach with the kick, and it's way too high and sails back off the inline. It will be out to Eastmont on a goal kick. So 3-2 our score after the goal in the 51st minute by German Romo Pino here for Sunnyside. Pass ahead towards midfield. Omar can't handle it, and it's picked up by the Grizzlies. And good separation here for Sunnyside on the attack, but Eastmont stepping in. Bodies collide, and ball still in play. Eastmont Wildcats slow to get up over there. And still on the turf is Sebastian Avilas. He'll finally get to his feet on the whistle. Rub his shin bone. First time I played soccer, elementary school, and twisted my ankle so bad. I had to go to the emergency room. They said it would have been better to break it than what you did. Entry into Eastmont Richkova will just collect it there. Pass it out on a hand pass. And the man who was rubbing that shin bone moments ago, Avilas, trying to keep it alive on the far sideline. It'll go out of bounds and out to Sunnyside. At that point, I decided I didn't like soccer so much. I know it's sad to have that happen, but...
No, injuries stop lots of people's careers and change their directions.
I grew up in a community, too, that did not have a youth soccer program, did not have soccer in high school, boys or girls soccer. So it was a foreign concept to me to begin with, honestly. I had heard of the Sounders, heard of some guy called Pele, and, oh, man, there was a rocket off the foot of Jose Marquez from clear out near midfield and sails just a little bit high and left.
He just cracked that ball.
That did. So Lopez will bring it out here on the goal kick for Eastmont. Headed there at midfield by Romo Pino. And then Lopez again will put a right foot into it. And the ball headed by the Grizzlies. And again, it just seems where in the first half you had white jerseys, it seemed everywhere the ball went. Now this half seems there's red jerseys everywhere the ball goes.
Eastmont's midfield has kind of taken a little bit of a nap and isn't quite as active as they were in the first half.
Here in the 56th minute, but a turnover deep for Eastmont. They'll see if they can take advantage. A chip across to Van Ash. Van Ash keeps the ball alive, brings it back out, and down the left-footed little lift shot right into the hands of the goalkeeper by Sergio Bravo. An easy play there for Elias Martinez. Ball on the punt comes across midfield, still battling for it, both teams, and Van Ash looks like he's going to control it. He will. A little chip back here near side. And ahead to pass, and Johan Espinoza knocked down on the play, and they're going to call a little bump there on Didens Maldonado. Boy, these two have been battling the whole game, Matt.
Yep. Yeah, that was, I think he was going to get a yellow card regardless of that foul front on the next one, but that was a legit yellow card, and could have been lucky it didn't go red.
Yeah. So it will be for Eastmont, Emmanuel Lopez. I'm surprised that Johan's not going to take this from here. He scored from outside of that in the first half. Entry in, and the ball just sails to the right of the goal. And will be a goal kick here for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, no, Emmanuel's got a foot too, and I think Johan can get in and get some good putbacks as well.
Sure.
30 yards is optimistic in any book, in anybody's book. And
well, he has such a powerful leg. I guess you expect possibly that ricochet that's going to happen out in front. Far sideline, battling for it, Flavio Espinoza. And anytime you are battling for the ball and you put your hand up to tell the official, no, I didn't do anything, it kind of is a signal to the official, I think you did something.
Draw some attention there.
Omar was kind of shielded by the referee for a moment. He couldn't get after it, but Eastmont will get it here. And a chip ahead, but a little bit too far for Omar to get. Nice left-footed pass up the near sideline. Sunnyside trying to catch Eastmont out of sorts here. And you got to watch those turnovers back here deep like this. And it is turned over, but sliding and knocking that ball out and it will be a corner kick here for Sunnyside after the attempt by Emmanuel Lopez.
Yeah, good strong tackle.
Here in the 58th minute, 3-2 Sunnyside on top. Back and forth contest here tonight on the NCAA Life Channel. Appreciate you joining us here on the television on Channel 12 on Local Tel, Channel 19 on Charter, and also on our website, ncwlife.com, on the stream. And that corner kick goes all the way across. Thought it got out of bounds there, but officials keep it going with the ball alive out towards midfield. And the battle for it, and they're going to say a little push there by Sunnyside, so it's out to Eastmont. Wildcats will have it just on the Sunnyside side of the midfield stripe. Again, it will be Lopez with the free kick here for the Wildcats. Chips it down, and it will take a skip and then picked up back there towards the end line by Elias Martinez here in the 59th minute. Big punt ahead, goes 3/4 length of the field, and it's ahead for Frausto. Oh. Look out, and he fell down. They're going to call a push from behind, and here is a penalty kick for Sunnyside. Or wait.
Yeah, it'll be a PK.
Yep, yellow card given to Jose Espinoza. Well, that's like in basketball. You just don't want to give him a free layup.
Yeah, on the pass, that could have been a red card, but they've kind of had a change in of direction with the referees this year, to where they don't ding a team twice, give them a PK and they go down a player. So now they give them a PK and a yellow card.
So it'll be Jose Marquez that will be kicking the penalty kick here for Sunnyside. And this is more of a guess than it is anything else for the goalkeeper, isn't it?
Yep. There's subtle things they can do. Read the plant foot, read the hips, and then just dive. And that's about all the best they can hope for.
So Vlad Richkova against it here. Jose Marquez. Man on man here. Marquez approaches the kick, and it's in for the goal. And Sunnyside now on top, 4-2. In the 61st minute, Jose Marquez on the penalty kick.
Still have time. I would imagine Sunnyside's going to go a little defensively here. And hopefully it can create some opportunities for Eastmont.
Here we go.
Now.
And a little bit too far out in front of Flavio Espinoza. And a nice job by the goalkeeper, Elias Martinez, to come out and gather that one in.
He was flirting with the handball there, too, when he punted that ball away. It almost looked like he was across that line.
Oh, really? Okay. We've seen that a few times this year. 61st minute here at Eastmont's Wildcat Stadium. Eastmont got out to a 1-0 lead. Sunnyside tied it. Eastmont took a 2-1 lead at halftime, but it's been all Sunnyside here in the second half. Gonzalo Frausto with a goal in the 45th minute. German Romo Pino with a goal in the 51st minute, and Jose Marquez with a goal in the 61st minute to put Sunnyside on top by a score of 4-2. A lot of work for Eastmont here in the closing moments of this one. Still time, however. A nice attempt at thought of a pass on the weak side over there, but he didn't have anybody to pass it to. Did Flavio Espinoza.
Yeah, they moved Eric Perez back a little bit, and they're playing him now. It looks like just an outside midfielder.
Throw in for Sunnyside along the far sideline over there. Headed by Van Ash, and then rooted by Sunnyside, and then picked up here near side. And they tried to center it over, did Romo Pino, but nobody to toss it to. Romo Pino with another attempt to enter it into the Eastmont end. Ball loose at midfield. Romo Pino with a head. And it's off to Acevedo. And then down low for the dangerous feet of Gonzalo Frausto. Ball goes out of bounds near sideline. It's out to Sunnyside. Grizzlies will bring Juan Acevedo over to inbound it here. On the throw-in. Seems Sunnyside found a different gear here in the second half.
Yeah, they definitely brought some more energy out. Eastmont did come out a little flat, and I think that kind of definitely gave Sunnyside some confidence and some momentum.
Lopez with the throw in. Again, we had, looked like Omar Mendoza maybe twisted his ankle on that field out there. Tried to stop as that ball came towards him on the throw in. And he's reaching down at his left knee right now, trying to shake that one off. Meanwhile, the throw in on the far side for Eastmont is picked up by Sunnyside. And then the Wildcats come back with it up towards midfield. 64th minute here, this one. Sunnyside on top of the Wildcats by a score of 4-2. Again, an entry ahead to Christian Martinez. And we got the flag up on the far sideline. They're going to say it's
got a foul on Sunnyside there.
So Eastmont will have it. They're going to say a goal kick? Or just right
nope,
there?
Okay,
just a free kick right there. Beautiful night for soccer here tonight in East Wenatchee. It's start of apple blossom time here in the Wenatchee Valley. Setup happening in the park for the food fair and entertainment in Memorial Park in Wenatchee. Exciting times here in the Wenatchee Valley. And always when apple blossom comes around, it's time to start thinking playoffs. And these two teams thinking about that right here tonight.
Mm-hmm. Playoffs, and then turn right around and you got club tryouts.
That's right.
WenatcheeFCYouth.net. Tryouts all May long. So schedule's online.
Rich Kova will collect that kick from the far side. Winging ahead towards Eric Perez. Perez got a little help from Mendoza here. I don't know if Omar's feeling very well.
Doesn't look as spry as he was earlier.
That little stop that he did and kind of torqued something. Lifted pass here near side for Romo Pino, and it'll be quickly to Eastmont on a throw-in. Here we go. Nice entry to Espinoza. Johan had the ball kicked away from him in the corner, so a corner kick for Eastmont. So an opportunity for the Wildcats here in the 66th minute.
Yeah, good strong challenger. Johan gets that corner in a hurry sometimes, and that defender is strong for the challenge.
Eric Perez will be the one to kick it here from the corner for the Wildcats as they set up on the weak side, looks like. But now Lopez comes racing down. They're going to chip it to him. And now the entry by Lopez, and then it's rooted away by Sunnyside right to Eric Duffy here on the near sideline. And that draws the cheer of a few fans here as Eric Duffy stopped it with his foot. Throw in to Espinoza. Boy, Johan is very fleet of foot. The ball kicked and hit the flag in the corner, stays in play. And so it's a Wildcat ball. They'll center it across, a header attempt on the weak side, and it will go off the end line. It will be a goal kick here for Sunnyside. Well, good idea a couple of times in a row here for Eastmont, but just not the finish on the execution.
Yeah, keep knocking on the door. They got to keep that energy up. Sunnyside, they give up a goal. They're going to get a little tight.
Ball kicked ahead towards midfield, then headed there by Eastmont. Wildcats back it out. Van Ash to Mendoza. They'll bring it back to Lopez. Lopez, kind of a three-quarter punt on it, and it is picked off for a moment by Sunnyside. The ball was loose, and we're going to get a push here. And it will be to Eastmont.
Oh, now they got two balls on the field now.
The ball came in here from the near sideline, and now there's a ball at midfield. So Coach Duffy says, here, just bring that ball over to me. And obviously Coach Duffy wants to get that ball out there as soon as possible to get another opportunity, and it will be Johan Espinoza from about, what would you say?
That's pretty close to 30 as well.
30 yards.
I usually just say the top of the arc is somewhere 23-ish, and then guess.
Here's the kick, and it is just off the mark, and a nice job by the goalkeeper, and another opportunity for Eastmont in front. I think Van Ash had the follow.
Yep.
And it goes off the end line. It'll be a goal kick to Sunnyside. Espinosa's balls are just, when they come in like that, just so good.
Mm-hmm. He's been doing that for as long as I can remember. I remember coaching against him in a rec. Shoot. That goes back a ways. 2004, no, 2005. Starting around there.
Well, we got about 4 hitters in a row there per club, and it is picked up now by Sunnyside. And Eastmont back. Van Ash doing a nice job there defensively for the Wildcats. Cross over. And what a scissor kick there for Sunnyside by Gonzalo Frausto.
Yeah, Frausto's a player. He got a good turn there and great contact with that shot.
Kick 3/4 of the length down the field will be just into the hands of Sunnyside, so they'll bring it out towards midfield again. Off to Omar Mendoza. But again, we're talking about not a lot of substitutes here, so Omar, even with the knee problem or whatever he might have, having to stay out there for Eastmont. Here's the attack for the Wildcats. We've got a handball.
That's a handball and a PK.
And penalty kick for opportunity for Eastmont here in the 69th minute.
Yeah, the handball extended. That hand just extended away from his body too much. It was not in a very natural position. He made himself bigger with his arms out like that, and that's usually going to draw a penalty.
Well, the man in goal here for Sunnyside was a late write-in candidate for their starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, we're going with Elias Martinez because we could not read the handwriting on the written in here. So here goes Johan Espinoza looking for the goal, and he has it for Eastmont here in the 70th minute.
Found his corner. He went a little wide on the left corner against Wenatchee when he had the PK opportunity there. He made sure he had that well inside the post.
Well, there's your goal to make it a 1 differential contest. Sunnyside up 4-3.
4-3. They got 10 minutes left.
And here comes the attempt and a nice punch there by Rich Kova. But Sunnyside trying to catch Eastmont napping a little bit. Nice slide there by Lopez. Eastmont comes up with the ball as Bravo will bring it across. And there was a push, but no call.
It doesn't appear that Sunnyside is tightening up. That's for sure. They're going right
definitely
after.
On the attack. Drawing the groans here. Some fancy footwork here for the Grizzlies. And the ball slid out of bounds off of Eastmont, so it'll be a corner kick here for Sunnyside. Substitution here for the Wildcats as Tony Leon will come in, and he'll replace Sergio Bravo for Eastmont. Meanwhile, on the far corner over there, on the corner kick, it will be Christian Martinez, and a header attempt, and it goes high. He was there, though.
Yeah, 2 guys wide open right there.
Juan Acevedo had the header, just kicked off a little bit too high and goes out of bounds out to Eastmont on the goal kick. Ball rattled around on the far side over there, and showing his fleet feet is Frausto again here for Sunnyside. And oh my.
Got lucky there. That was a miscue.
Rich Kova obviously wanted that to get a little bit further out than it did, but it might be an opportunity here for Eastmont. Near side and a little bump by to Espinoza, and they're going to say it is out to Eastmont. On the little foul there, so a free kick for the Wildcats, and it will be Lopez will bring it in here. Crossing over, but it went right to the goalkeeper instead. I think he meant that to come out a little bit further away from the goal.
Good idea. I like the play. I would like to see Junior get more involved here still going forward. And it's one thing Eastmont is doing. If they need numbers, they've got to take it out of their back 4 now.
73rd minute of this one.
And their outside backs are staying home. And and it just doesn't necessarily get numbers for it. That's what it's got to come from.
Bravo comes back in. Lopez looks like maybe twisted something.
Yeah, he's got to tweak something.
So he'll sit down here on the near side. Meanwhile, throw in over on the far sideline for Eastmont, headed by Sunnyside, chipped by Van Ash. Mendoza crossing over, now a fight to the sideline, and it's out off of Eastmont. 4-3 Sunnyside by 1 here in the closing 10 minutes of this one at Wildcat Stadium here tonight. It will be Diddens Maldonado who will throw it in. Near side, it takes a bounce and then headed in nicely, saved in by Sunnyside. Now the entry ahead, look out. Here they come again with Frausto. Frausto left of the goal. A little push there. And it's still loose in front. And now the shot is taken, but ricocheted off a defender. The ball still loose, and now Rich Kova finally will pick it up.
Ooh, goodness.
Don't like to see that ball right there on the doorstep for that long a time. I got, I think, a handball here on Eastmont, so it'll be going over to Sunnyside in the 74th minute. I don't think we'll have a lot of extra time here. We did have the one shake-up on the injury for Eastmont. A couple of minutes, maybe?
Yeah, maybe a couple at the most.
Yeah. Here's the entry for Sunnyside, and a header by Eastmont right in front of the goal, so it'll go out of bounds. Last touch by Eastmont, so it'll be a corner kick here for Sunnyside. So that's unfortunate that ball took, sometimes round ball, you can't help where it's going to go. Substitution, Lopez will come back in here for Eastmont, and will replace Bravo for the Wildcats. Looks like on his sprint in, he's feeling healthy on that leg. And here's the cross on the corner kick. And the goaltender, nice job by Rich Kova, reaching up high for this one. The entry toss out is loose, and Eastmont's going to pick it up. See if the Wildcats can get in transition here. The ball is booted out of bounds. Good choice defensively there for Sunnyside by Diddens Maldonado. It's been quite a battle between he and Espinoza here in this contest for sure. Ball headed on the throw-in off of Sunnyside. Grizzlies keep it alive. Now out to midfield. Omar Mendoza chips it ahead. And Espinoza had it go out of bounds. It's off of him and will be out to Sunnyside. Romo Pino will give it up to
That's
Jose
a handball
Ramirez.
right
That
there.
was a handball. He was still in bounds.
Yeah, that was a legal throw in to his player, who was going to throw it in again.
Yeah, that was awfully courteous of the officials to let that go. Goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a missed both by the AR and the center.
Ball is touched by Eastmont, goes out of bounds. It will be out again to Sunnyside on a corner kick here. Not a lot of replacements for either side here, and you see a lot of grasping at legs right now as we're in the 77th minute of this one in a 4-3 contest. Sunnyside up by 1, and another opportunity for a corner kick here from Christian Martinez. Here he comes, left-footed approach, weak side header, and it's high and away and goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick here for Eastmont. I think the header was by Jose Marquez, who does have a goal in this one. Eastmont will kick it ahead towards midfield. And headed by Sunnyside, still looking for control here. Eastmont after it, and Espinoza has it, chips it ahead. A little bit too far, though. And what do we got? The Eastmont calling for a handball, and it's shot out of bounds by Sunnyside. Well, a great opportunity for Eastmont again, with Johan Espinoza in there deep along with Flavio. Just couldn't quite make it happen. There's Flavio near side to Mendoza. Backside it goes. Nice footwork there for Eric Perez. Back to Omar. Then to Perez. Perez fronted by Maldonado. He kicks it out of bounds. It's a throw in here in the 78th minute. So coming up on the closing moments of this one here at Wildcat Stadium tonight. So Lopez going to try to get some extra oomph on this throw-in. Headed and loose out front. Johan Espinoza comes up with a loose ball. Now we got a whistle and a push going to be called against Eastmont. My, oh my. Hard to tell with all the bodies there in front on what's happening. Everybody trying to gain the advantage on positioning. And this time they whistle Eastmont for a little bit unfair advantage, apparently, on that one. Clock stops at the 78th minute, as it's now completely up to the official on the timepiece on the field. Entry ahead. Sunnyside on the attack still, as Christian Martinez will try to go weak side with it. Goes across the end line. Another goal kick here for Eastmont, and you see the hurried motion of the Wildcats. And a whistle sounds. Substitution here for Sunnyside. Far side over there. Looks like it's Emmanuel Ocampo who will come back into the contest here for the Grizzlies. And now whistle play in. And the boot here towards midfield. And we're going to get a little bit of positioning called against Eastmont on a push from behind. So to go over to Sunnyside again on a free kick. They're going to say it was Flavio Espinoza trying to gain advantage with a little push there. He had two Grizzlies in front of him. I don't know how you get advantage there.
He pushed him a little bit to gain leverage.
Nice entry on the deep kick in, but it's headed out to Eastmont as Perez keeps it alive, crosses over towards Flavio Espinoza, trying to gain, and he does. Looking for help, crosses over. Johan to Flavio with the boot. It hits one of the Grizzlies. Now ahead again. Van Ash on the attack with the turn. Still keeps it alive. Stumbles down. No call, and play continues as the ball comes near side out of bounds. It's out to Eastmont. Hands on hips here. A little breathing heavy with the activity here in extra time.
Yeah, we're right at 5 seconds left on the clock. And that really looked like a foul to me on Jake in the box. I don't know how he didn't get, it looked like he drew some foot on that and tripped him.
So Rich Kova brings the ball near sideline, and it is out of bounds and a throw in here for Sunnyside. 4-3, Sunnyside up by 1. Just few moments left of this one. Throw in deep, and he'll throw it all the way down in the corner, picked up by Eastmont there.
I'm at 30 seconds into extra time now.
We did have that little bit of an injury timeout. So maybe 2 minutes.
That was a
weak
handball.
Side it goes. And the shot by Emmanuel Ocampo goes a little bit wide to the right. So another goal kick here for Lopez and Eastmont. Pressure is on for the Wildcats to try to get another opportunity. The ball going out of bounds and a push from behind. Espinoza goes down to the ground. They're going to call a penalty and a yellow card on Sunnyside's German Romo Pino.
Yeah, you might as well send everybody forward for Eastmont. There's no use having anybody back on this one.
And so Eastmont will do exactly that. Here comes Lopez directing traffic. Emmanuel Lopez.
I'm even bringing Rishkova out.
With the chip and the approach and the tip. And it's loose out front and then rooted away by Sunnyside. It will go out of bounds on the far side. Good opportunity for Eastmont. Just cannot get that ball to go the right direction. Just seconds left of this one. Eastmont staring their third loss in a row here at home, and that will happen as the whistle will sound. And our final score here tonight will be Sunnyside 4 and Eastmont 3. So the Grizzlies get the victory. They improve to 8-2 in Big Nine play. Eastmont falls to 4-6. Again, 4-3 our final here tonight. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back and wrap this one up here from Wildcat Stadium as we continue. You're watching Eastmont Soccer tonight here on the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back once again here to Eastmont High School as the Wildcats fall to the Sunnyside Grizzlies by a final of 4-3. And Matt Wisen, it was really a tale of two halves, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Eastmont really controlled the first half. Second half, they kind of fell a little flat, had a lapse of energy, got a little disconnected, and Sunnyside took advantage of it. Eastmont brought it in late. It was a little too late. They could have found that just a few minutes earlier. We might be looking at it. Extra time right now, overtime.
Absolutely. The effort came, but like you said, it just seemed that they kind of found that extra gear way late in that second half.
Yeah, just wasn't much sense of urgency, and kind of some lethargic play, and it really cost them.
Eric Perez got the first goal of the game in the 17th minute to start this one to put Eastmont on top by a score of 1-0. And like we said, that first half was just full of energy. Eastmont seemed to be around the ball offensively, defensively, no matter where that ball fell on the field. Jose Marquez was able to score the tying goal in the first half for Sunnyside. That made it 1-1 in the 20th minute. And then in the 25th minute, Johan Espinoza with his first of what turns out to be 2 goals on the night as Eastmont took the lead 2-1 at halftime. But it wasn't long into the second half that Sunnyside was able to just really show that they had found that gear at halftime and came out with a lot of energy in the second half as Gonzalo Frausto, who really impressed me tonight on his abilities, both just with his speed and with his footwork. He tied that game at 2-2 at that point.
Yeah, Gonzalo, he's a player. He's found his groove, found some confidence, and really took that game over for Sunnyside.
Yeah, he scored that in the 45th minute to tie it at 2, and then momentum certainly seemed to be on Sunnyside's side at that time as the Grizzlies scored in the 51st minute to German Romo Pino, and then their final goal came in the 61st minute, Jose Marquez on a penalty kick, and that really took the wind out of the sails a lot for the home crowd here and for the home team. They still fought and battled and were able to get that final goal by Johan Espinoza in the 70th minute, but again, a little bit too late here for Eastmont.
Yeah, they had a lot of good quality looks. Overall, probably give them a B minus.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. Just the little lapse of
80 minutes
of energy there in the first half of the second half is what really cost them the game.
Right, exactly. You talk about thirds, and there was kind of a third that of the game where they just kind of went away for a little while, and Sunnyside's the kind of a team that'll take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, and kind of want to sometimes be down a goal at half, knowing you underplayed. Sunnyside put their foot on the pedal. They had to. They had no other option. Eastmont wasn't ready for it, and Sunnyside never let off. They just kept fighting. Even when they got up by 2 goals, we saw how hard they were pressing.
Right.
And when they gave up that goal, we saw how hard they kept pressing. They didn't get into a defensive shell to give up another goal. They kept coming after them.
Well, the final again here tonight, 4-3. Sunnyside comes out on top of Eastmont as the Wildcats drop a couple of games below 500 now, with just 2 games left. They've got senior night coming up. West Valley will be here for senior night, and then one more on the road next week for the Wildcats. Time is winding down here, and did you get a final score on Wenatchee? Did you hear? We heard 2-0 Wenatchee on top at one point over Moses Lake tonight. Just a reminder of some programming notes coming up on Thursday night here on the NCW Life Channel. Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse will take on Stanwood. That's a game from last weekend. You can watch it here starting at 8 o'clock on Thursday night. And then coming up on Friday, we've got baseball back on the broadcast schedule with a doubleheader as Wenatchee will take on Moses Lake as the Wildcats try to nail down first place in the Big Nine. And it's all coming right down the stretch for all the sports seasons, it seems, and kind of fun to be in this situation.
Yeah, it's do or die time. Everyone's getting after it. Eastmont's still not out of it.
No.
Like we were talking earlier, they kind of want to be on the road potentially and friendlier confines, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Get a field that works for their game.
Yeah, exactly.
where they can be concise with those passes and not have some of the strange hops. And unfortunately, strange hops happened tonight for Eastmont as they fall to Sunnyside by a final of 4-3. Matt Wisen, thank you again, my friend.
Yeah.
Good to see you, and good to have you here as well. Thanks to Logan Pratt, our cameraman here, and Dan Coons for coming in to help us with a little line production here on site. And, of course, to Tucker Wagner, our producer-engineer back at the studios. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Again, it's Sunnyside over the top of Eastmont tonight by a final of 4-3. Thank you very much for watching NCW Life Channel, and have a good evening.
Good night.
Thanks for joining us for soccer on the NCW Life Channel. Today's broadcast has been